Should you apologize even if you know you're not the one that was wrong in a relationship?
That is the question of the century for every relationship, right?
I feel like you can't hold your apology hostage. Like when you feel like somebody did something wrong and this is a relationship that you truly care about, I feel like you should just do whatever it takes to keep the peace. You shouldn't walk around pretending like you're mad about, nope, you got to apologize to me before I'm nice to you.
Yeah, so we want to know, put in the comments below, is it wrong to apologize if you're not wrong? Of course, it's based on your perspective. I mean, everybody has their opinion on who's wrong and who's right.
Shades of wrong.
Right,
yes.
exactly. So, of course, one person's going to think that they're right, the other person's going to think that they're right. But there is probably somebody who was wrong. And so, is it wrong? Should you have to apologize, Amanda, though, if you feel like you were not in the wrong? Like,
I mean, I think it is our duty to just do whatever we can to keep the peace in the relationship.
I agree, but
not
are
be
you
a doormat? But still, just be like, okay, just move on, just move forward.
Right, I get that. But should you go up to somebody and say, "I apologize, I'm sorry for this," even though you didn't do anything? So I have a friend, and he was talking to me yesterday about him and his wife and an argument that they got into. And it was over something small, like not emptying the dishwasher
so it
or
wasn't
something like that.
Big
no, something
issue.
small.
Okay.
And neither of them were willing to apologize. They went to bed and they were still upset the next morning, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, buddy, just go apologize. And he's like, no. I wasn't in the wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. She should have to apologize. Now, we've probably heard this many times before. If you've been in a relationship, obviously you've heard that. But he's like, well, I'm always the first one to apologize. I'm tired of that. She needs to come to apologize. So this is going to
be the mountain that he dies on?
Right.
Like, I'm just going to be done with that?
Yeah.
So how fun is that, walking around all week just like not talking to each other?
I know. Hurt people, they feel hurt, and so they hold on to it because they're hurt and they want the other person to apologize for hurting them. But I think, and I have learned through many years of experience that it's better to just go forward, and even if you're not wrong, just suck it up, turn the other cheek, and apologize, even if you are not in the wrong. Just do it, and I feel that God will reward you for that. And you shared a great story. You got to do that. Share that story of your example.
Well, I am not in any way, shape, or form perfect when it comes to relationships. This is very obvious. I've been through a divorce. But I can share with you my cautionary tale from that, of why, especially in a marriage, in a committed relationship, why I feel like you should let things go more, because I didn't. I made the mistake. I remember when we first separated, my ex-husband and I, one of the things that we constantly fought about in marriage was his water glass. Every night before bed, he would take a glass of water up, put it next to the bed, and then I'd go down and I would be doing the dishes, or I would go for a glass of water, and there'd be no glasses in the cupboard because he never brought them down. They would all there. Then I go up and there'd be like 6 water glasses on the side of a bed, and then I would get mad and I would feel taken advantage of and not respected, because I'm like, what am I? You think I'm your maid and I have to take everything down and you can't take your glass down while you go down? It was dumb. So we always argued about that. And then I remember we separated and lived in separate homes. And I'll never forget the morning I went down to the kitchen and I opened up the cupboard to get a glass of water, and it was full of glasses, and that was weird. And my heart sunk, because I thought, oh no, I would give anything to have all the water glasses on the side of his table again, because that would mean that our family was still together and he was there. Who cares?
Right.
About the water glasses on the side of the table if it means harming the trust in a relationship over something stupid.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Let it go, dude.
Right.
That's just me.
You're right. Of course, there are those issues that are bigger than, leaving the glasses out or not emptying the dishwasher.
Abuse, adultery, we're not talking about that.
Yeah,
Don't let
absolutely.
that go. Yeah.
That's something that needs to have bigger conversations and therapy
Correct.
and all that kind of stuff.
Correct.
But you're right. I mean, it's the
cares?
bigger picture. Like we're talking about a couple we know where they just got married. They were newlyweds, and she developed a lump on her tongue, and she's got a cancer. And they're just been married, and it's like, oh my gosh, just be thankful that you and your wife or your spouse are healthy and that you live under the same roof and that you love each other.
Yep.
That's what's most important. And so, yeah, suck it up. Be the first one to apologize. Go and do that. I'm curious if you guys do that. If you feel like you're the first one in your relationship to go and apologize.
And why is it? And why do you, or maybe we're wrong. Tell us we're wrong. You're like, no, like you should really wait until someone apologizes to you.
Yeah.
Before you go and just freely give an apology. Because then maybe you're being taken advantage of.
Yeah. And
by people if you act like that.
Right. And I don't think you necessarily have to admit that you were wrong, but you can say, I apologize for the way that made you feel.
Yes, I've done that. Like, I hear that I offended you.
Right.
It was not my intention. Please forgive me. I think you can do that. And doesn't that cover
Absolutely.
both sides?
I think that's perfect. Yes, absolutely.
Saying,
because you want to always have empathy. You want to see it from their perspective. So, yeah, don't say, I'm sorry, I did this or I did this. Just say, I apologize if what I did offended you. That was not my intention or whatnot. You know, that works. It works a lot because you're developing a conversation. It's not just something you just spew out. I'm sorry. And then you walk off. That's what my kids do. You know, we're like, no, Noah, you got to go hug Levi and tell him why you're sorry. One of our listeners on Facebook said, holding a grudge is unhealthy and not demonstrating kindness. Kindness is a fruit of the Spirit. So self-control, our emotions, you know, a lot of times it has to do with our emotions. You know?
So many times the person you're mad at doesn't even know you're mad at them. Like,
That's true.
They may not even
oh my gosh,
that they offended you.
Especially
you know what I mean? Like,
if you're in a relationship like I am. Where my wife is super introvert and she does not say anything. But I get it. Being with her for 10 years, I notice the looks. I notice the attitude. But she'll hold things in for a while until I say, babe, come here, sit down. We got to talk. What happened? What did I say? What did I do? What's bothering you?
That's good.
Yeah.
It's like the Mark Twain quote. I always love this quote, and I remind myself of this when I get really mad about something. He said, anger is an acid and it only eats up the vessel it's within. So most often, even if that person knows that you're mad at them, they probably don't care as much as you care. Like the only person that your anger and unforgiveness is hurting is yourself.
Right.
Because that other person, they're going on and living their life. They're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. Be the bigger person. That's what's happening. When you step forward and you apologize, you show that you're being the more mature person, the bigger person. And I think the other person will respect that. In you.
And again, I'm not here to give you advice. Just use me as your cautionary tale. Like, don't let it get to that point.
Absolutely.
Over a stupid water glass. Just don't let it get to that point. So that was kind of ended on a heavy note.
Relationship advice from Amanda and Matt.
Maybe you know of a really good way to handle this. I'd love to know. I bet we've got someone in the Fish family watching that's like a therapist, family therapist, or let us know. Give us some advice because we're all here about having
or a mother-in-law.
There you go. They know all, right? Have an amazing, Wednesday? I'm losing track of time.
Hey, Memorial Day weekend. Coming up, we're going to play 300 songs in a row. I didn't even know we had 300 songs, but we're going to play them all in a row, back to back, no commercials. So if you got a cookout or you have a barbecue or you have a camping trip.
Driving home from the beach.
Exactly.
Yes.
Swim party like Amanda's having. Just turn it on to 103.9 The Fish on your radio or Alexa, and you've got your soundtrack for Memorial Day. It's going to be awesome.